Welcome back to the second half of this Australian Gridiron League match between the SA Sharks and the New South Wales Wolfpack. It's been a one-sided affair so far. We'll see what happens here in the second as Otten kicks off. Kick is up and high. They're going to look to fake off. Plenty of bodies moving around there. And the last time they tried to get a little bit fancy on a return, they fumbled it, so... But obviously, you look to try new things at the start of the second half, and obviously with the lead that they have, they've got a bit of a buffer to do it. So, joined here by Jake Humphries here on Ascension Sports. I'm Chris Guscott. In terms of what you've seen from the Sharks in the first half, what are they going to have to do to improve and ultimately try to get back in this game?
They need to muscle up on defence when they're defending their own goal line. They've just let the Wolfpack capitalise far too many times on field position. Well, we've got a quarterback change here. Dave Ward, the West Sydney Pirates quarterback veteran, he's come in and he's going to run first up, and he's got a lot of space. The veteran can still move quite well, and he goes to ground. Looks like he's probably 2 or 3 yards short. Brings up second and short. And that's handy for the offense on the opening drive of the second half here. Now, Dave Ward, he has 3 receivers to his right. And he's got 2 out on the left, so 5 set. Empty tray. And he takes the ball back now. He's looking. He's going to dump it out to Grant McNaughton, who gets taken out of bounds. He has been a popular target for the Wolfpack quarterbacks so far in their campaign. He's got good hands. And he was able to get the ball there and make a couple of yards, a first down in fact. But it was a good job by the Sharks defensive back to bring him down. Okay, so it's going to be a fresh set of downs now for the Wolfpack. Dave Ward's in the backfield. He's got Alex Watson alongside him, and he's got a twin set, 2 wide receivers either side. He's going to take the ball. He's going to look over, and he's going to take a deep shot, and it's Kent Nugent, I believe, but it was a little bit overthrown. He was running a corner route, it seemed, from the slot position, and it was a little bit overthrown. It was certainly on, but he just missed him slightly. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the New South Wales Wolfpack on this opening drive. And what do you think the benefit is, Chris, of bringing in a veteran like Dave Ward, who's got a bit more experience than Dorney, just to change things up a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, any time that you get a new look at quarterback, it makes you readjust your defense, and especially with experience, he knows what he's facing. Ward sits back, has time, throws down the middle, Nguyen takes it, and he's going to be down by contact, which is lucky because the safety came in, went for the hero play, and didn't make it. That's a good completion there, and Dave Ward immediately stepping up and looking comfortable here for the Wolfpack.
And it looks like he's got a target he likes. Kent Nugent, he's thrown it to him twice for 1 completion. That was a great take by the Little Bondi Raiders receiver, and he's now gone back into the backfield. He's on the left of Dave Ward. He's got Alex Watson to his right, doing a bit of communication there with the halfback. And he's got twins out to his right. McNaughton is there, the closest man you can see lined up in the wide receiver position. He takes the ball and he's going to give it to Watson, who gets stood up pretty well in the A-gap by one of the Sharks defenders, but as he does so well, he falls forward, and he's really a hard man to push back once you get your hands on.
Yeah, absolutely. Dangerous running backs. We keep saying it over and over again, the ones that are big. And also what we say before is that linebackers get worn out defending them as the game goes on, and that's obviously a massive factor.
So Dave Ward now still in. He's replaced Keenan Dorney, and he puts Kent Nugent in motion over to the left side, and he's going to drop back and pass, and he does go to Nugent again, but nicely broken up by the Sharks defensive play there. He had him on a bit of a drag route over the middle. There was a little bit of room, but he wasn't quite able to reel it in. Good play by the Sharks defensive back. So it's going to be 3rd down, about 6. So it's probably a pass coming up, you'd say, for the Wolfpack. When you get to the 3rd and medium stages, when you're in good field position, it's normally going to be a passing option. Given how well they've moved the ball so far through the air, I don't see why they wouldn't go back to the air. And that's exactly what they do. He pump fakes to one side, and now he's going to find Granger. But it's a good open field tackle there by number 44 from the Sharks to bring him down. It's going to bring up 4th down. Might have made a yard or 2. But as we see again, open field tackling proving to be quite important. And it was a good job there by number 44 for the Sharks. So it's going to be 4th down. So what do you reckon they're going to try to do on this 4th down play?
And Nick Lawrence there on the tackle. On 4th down, yeah, well, they might have to go back to the air again. I mean, looking at the set that they're in, Split set. They got Watson in the backfield, though. Could utilise him. And Ward's shown mobility as well. Sits back for the pass, however. Has a lot of time in the pocket. Chooses to pierce through and hit hard. And that can be credited back to what the secondary was doing on the receivers. Gave Ward no options downfield. He was forced to improvise. And the Sharks come up to make the big turnovers on downs play.
Yeah, it's what you call a coverage sack. He looks downfield and he sees that all his options are covered. They did a good job on Grant McNaughton here, who he was looking at on that corner route, but he didn't see any opportunities. And he was brought down with a hard tackle. And you can see that the Sharks, they don't like any intensity despite the scoreline. So they're definitely going to give it their best shot to come back here from the 29-point margin.
Coverage sack, I like that term. Split set. First down and 10 here. New drive for the Sharks in their first of the half. Hands it off down the middle to Simon's got some room and then just got stood up. Liam Irby making the hit down the middle, and Simons is not moving at the moment. It was a solid hit, as you saw. They went to fake the end around, instead handed it off to Simons down the middle. And it looked as if he got a hole in the line and then all of a sudden met Liam Irby and then he met the ground, and he is still down. As we said before, never a good sign to see any player injured here in the Australian Gridiron League. Hokie gets up and is back to returning players. And the healthy crowd here at Hurstville Oval clap him as he comes up. Gridiron's certainly not a sport for the faint-hearted, and Craig Simons has found that out the hard way. Second down and 7 now, coming up for the Sharks. Towards the end of the first half, we're able to put together a few good plays. It was just turnovers that really cost them. Whitehead in particular, he's thrown in 4 interceptions. He'll be looking to right his wrongs here in the second half. Bunch to the right-hand side. They're going to move Ottens in motion and then back to the trips right formation. Whitehead under pressure, throws quick down the middle. Big hit. And that is how you play defense in terms of closing in on receivers. It was a tight pass, especially down the middle, but the Wolfpack once again physically, and they are just closing in on the Sharks at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was Liam Irby again on the breakup there. You've got to keep your eyes on the ball if you're a wide receiver. I think it bounced off his chest or off his hands, but it's one that you'd expect yourself to catch if you're a wide receiver. But it was also a good play from Liam Irby, who's made a couple of big defensive plays already on this drive.
A lot of the Wolfpack defenders making big plays and making a name for themselves here. Once again, the trips bunch to the right-hand side. Whitehead fakes the handoff. Fumble by Tedmondson. And it is going to be recovered by the Wolfpack. Once again, another trick play, another fumble, and another turnover here in this one. And now the Wolfpack are in prime position to continue to add to their score. It's just costly turnovers like that that have put the Sharks out of the game so far.
Yeah, you know, another coach killer there, putting the ball down in the backfield. Good heads-up play by the Wolfpack defensive lineman to jump on the ball there and retrieve it at the bottom of that dog pile. So the Wolfpack will go on attack. They're already up 29 points to 0, and they'll look to add to that scoreboard. As Dave Ward still is in quarterback, replacing Dorney, and he's got 2 receivers either side. He's going to take the ball, and he pump fakes to the left, and he's going to float it over the top for a wide-open Kent Nugent, who he has preferred Dave Ward in his stint. He has looked to Nugent a lot. Great job there by the young Bondi wide receiver, and that will increase the lead to 35 points to 0. So, you know, not what the Sharks were hoping for early.
No, absolutely not, considering that they were building their own drive merely moments ago. They exposed the one-on-one coverage to the outside, and Newen just has the speed just to burn the linebacker there, and it seems as if the Wolfpack will continue to add to their lead here. They're looking for the extra point. Flag on the play, low kick, and it's straight through, but we'll have to see what the penalty is on. Regardless, the Wolfpack will continue to add to their already commanding lead. The Sharks well and truly on the back foot here.
So 36 points to 0 after that offsides penalty was declined by the Wolfpack.
Offside, number 19, defense. The penalty is declined. The score's good.
So 36 points to nil, and the Sharks are going to have to start over again. As Chris said before, they were able to develop a pretty nice-looking drive at the beginning of the second half, but a turnover in the backfield off a bit of a fumble has put them in a precarious position, so it is 36-0. But we've seen a lot of enthusiasm from the Sharks so far in the second half. They're definitely not going to go down without a fight. So you can expect them to really open up the playbook here in the second half and you know, pass the ball a fair bit. So it's going to make for some exciting viewing in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely can't fault any of the teams that have stepped on the field in the Australian Gridiron League so far, despite having our fair share of lopsided results. Following the touchdown. High kick. It's shallow. It's going to be taken around the 22, 23, and he runs straight into pressure. Will only get a few yards there, and the Sharks will now start just shy of their own 30. And they'll be looking to build another drive. It has been turnovers and it has been poor execution, which has put the Sharks on the back foot in this one so far, and the Wolfpack have only been happy to oblige. They've converted on their chances so far, and it shows with the match at 36-0 at the moment. You could say that it's likely that they might go and face the Sun Devils
offside
in the final. It's definitely going to be very entertaining.
Team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
And they're going to take it again because of the offside penalty there on the Wolfpack. So and we're back underway again following the penalty. This kick now back to around the 17. Tedmanson catches it, cuts back, gets a little bit of room to the outside. Macon, head coach Jonathan Hepner, dart around a bit, stay on his toes. And the Sharks will now start just on their 30-yard line. So now they'll be looking to put together something that can get at least open the scores at least and put the Wolfpack under pressure. They've done it a few times. They've proved that they can put together something resembling good offensive production. It's just when it comes to execution, it's let them down.
Well, they really haven't been very far off the pace. Yeah, as Chris said, execution, a couple of silly mistakes, turnovers. But you get the impression that this team, the Sharks, are going to be a real force to be reckoned with in 2 years' time when they take the field representing their state. Because, you know, they're a talented team. They just haven't been able to execute. But on this occasion, they do so. Whitehead passes it out to the side to Ottens for a little gain. He's been a pretty involved player, Ryan Ottens. And that will bring up second down after the gain of probably 2 yards. So we'll call it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Ottens is such just a versatile player. He plays linebacker in Gridiron SA and also as a linebacker for the Australian Outback team in the 2011 World Cup, as well as playing multiple appearances for the Outback team in whoever they've played internationally. He has been one of the best players in the country for a long time, and he continues to prove it here on the stage in whatever position he is in. 5 receivers. Trips left, Whitehead, quick pass to the outside. There's the man we're talking about. Ottens gets to the outside. And it looks as if we're going to be moving that one for the first down. And so it seems as if Whitehead to Ottens has been a good combination so far.
Yeah, he's definitely, preferred to throw it to Ottens. And the Wolfpack, despite having a 36-0 lead, they're going to need to do something about that because you can't just let a guy who is obviously, a focal part of the offense just run free like that. He's been given a lot of space in the flats. And even though he's only catching the ball a couple of yards past the line of scrimmage, you have to watch out for the yards after catch opportunity. He's certainly displayed some pace once he's secured the football, so they're going to have to keep an eye out for number 24.
5 wide receivers set here. Whitehead sits back, looks to go himself, goes down the line. It's a bold move, but he's done well there to get past multiple Wolfpack defenders who are piercing the line. And that's exactly the strength of Whitehead. He can be mobile and he can improvise well. And then on that case, he gets enough yards to move the chains here. First down and 10 coming up. Lining up, trips to the left-hand side. Man in the backfield, moving. Otten's in motion. Whitehead sits back, has time, goes back again, finds Ottens, and he'll get out of bounds. And that check down ability there, just getting them yards, and it's that industrial 4-5 yards per play that is keeping the Wolfpack defense on the field.
Well, look, as long as it's not a negative play, it's a positive play, and they just keep moving forward. Ottens, 3 times in a row now, and the Wolfpack, they should probably do something about that. So, yeah, let's see if he gets his 4th target here on 2nd and long. And he's lined up to the left-hand side of Whitehead.
Looking to make some adjustments on the line of the Wolfpack. Moving him in motion again. Handoff, and this time the line's onto him. And a great open field tackle, especially considering the Ottens is a linebacker, built like a linebacker. They're definitely not easy to bring down. Thomas Granger making a terrific tackle in the open field. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. It looks like he lost yards on the play. And now they're back to where they started for this set of downs anyway. And in terms of their passing, they've gone straight to Ottens every time. In terms of their rushing, they haven't had a lot of success so far. In terms of their rushing production, it's come through Whitehead. But the Wolfpack have done very well to adjust to what he's been offering. And it's the whole bend but not break mentality that we've seen so far from the Wolfpack. They're yet to concede a point in this entire AGL campaign. Trips bunch to the right-hand side. Whitehead scrambles, and he's going nowhere. Terrific work there from the entirety of the defensive line to get to him and shut him down. And like you said, when you have that sort of improvisational ability, it can only really get you so far if you don't have the protection.
Yeah, look, Fadiaun just broke straight through the offensive line of the Sharks, along with a bunch of other Wolfpack defensive players. So certainly they didn't do a great job blocking there, the Sharks. And it looks like they may elect to punt the ball. We'll see what happens. They're down 36 points to 0, so it wouldn't be strange if we saw them attempt to get the 1st down through the air here or running, but it looks as though they're set up deep for the punt. Number 92 just getting some grip on his hands there. He's going to look to send this one sky high, and they have done a good job punting the ball so far. And this isn't a bad one. Good amount of hang time. It's going to cause Keenan Mackett to take the fair catch. So good job there from the punter for the Sharks. It's Carlisle Jones, number 92. Good job. So yeah, as we've already said, you know, punting can't be overlooked and what it can mean for your football team. And you know, the Sharks, the most impressive aspect of the game may well be their punting.
Yeah, at the moment it does seem like that. I mean, in terms of how they've been building their offense, it's been very basic, but it's very industrialist, like I said before. You build on one and then you build on another and you make sure that you're just getting the yards to keep the drive alive here.
Okay, so David Ward now has the ball in the backfield. Well, he doesn't have the ball yet, but he's standing in the backfield, and now he has the ball. And he's going to view his options, and he goes to Tiong, who is a little bit underthrown. And it's going to be 2nd and 10. Pass goes to ground. They have favoured the aerial attack, the Wolfpack, when they've been on the field of late. They're really giving Dave Ward's arm a workout. They displayed good running prowess in the first half, but it looks like they're going to err to the side of the throwing in the second half. So David Ward has a twin set now to receivers either side. Gets the ball in the backfield, and he looks immediately to his left. He pump fakes, and he's going to take a deep shot for Tiong, who looks to be open. He catches the ball, and the yards after the catch are vital, and he will get all of them required for a touchdown. It's Tiong, and I'll tell you what, they're really exposing this Sharks secondary. Another touchdown for the Wolfpack. Tell you what, Dave Ward has looked sharp.
He has. He really has. That deep ball ability can never be underestimated in terms of what quarterbacks can do on the field. That is the 2nd time now that Lawrence has been burnt there on the outside. It's just the pace of the receivers that have just been too much for the Sharks at the moment. Once again, lining up with majority of the line off to the left-hand side. And now they're coming back. They're looking to attempt the point after. And the Wolfpack continuing to extend their lead. And that'll be another point. He's been one thing that a lot of people do tend to underestimate, there aren't a lot of kickers in the Australian Gridiron League. He's done a terrific job so far to make every single attempt he's put up, and now it makes it 43-0 here in favour of the Wolfpack, running away with this one and showing their superior class here midway through the third quarter. Welcome, thank you very much for joining us here on Ascension Sports. My name is Chris Guscott alongside Jake Humphreys here, joining me for this match here on Ascension Sports TV. Thank you very much for tuning into the live stream. Just remember, if you miss any of the action, the full games will be uploaded to the Ascension Sports YouTube channel, so make sure you check them out as well. Also like to thank the Hurstville City Council and Hostworks for helping us out here with the live stream. It's been all Wolfpack so far. Kick off. Tedman sits under it on the 15. Waiting for his options. Kind of ran into a wall of Wolfpack and still manages to stay alive. Will only get a few yards. It was that indecisiveness on the return that held him back. And now the Sharks will start again. First down and 10 now for the Sharks. Two wide receivers either side. Umpires intervening. And that'll be a timeout on the play. When we come back, first and 10.
Timeout. New South Wales. First timeout of the half.
Gridiron New South Wales would like to thank their partners and their corporate partners, GTS Sports Travel, Amazon Supplements, Company Position, Fitness First, 2XU, and Douglas Shoulder Pads.
So now following the timeout here on Ascension Sports. First down and 10 here for the Sharks. Be looking to open their account here in the third. Back in the backfield, spread set. Hands off down the middle to Simons. Pierces the first line and then gets hit by the second line. Seems to be the story of the day for SA at the moment. The second they get past one line of Wolfpack defenders, there always seems to be another one there.
Yeah, that's been the case today, but he did a good job there, Simons. First contact initiated on him was in the backfield somewhere, and he was able to shrug past the tackler and, well, at least maybe not shrug past him, but he was able to drag him along and fall forward for a good gain of 5 yards. So considering how the play unfolded, he really did a good job of picking up the 5 yards there.
And the playbook is wide open now for second down and 5, and they're choosing to put three receivers to the right-hand side. Lining up in the trips. They're going to put Tedmanson over now. Fakes it, end around. Looking for the pass, and it is a wobbler through the air. And coming back towards the play was Nelligan. The Sharks calling for defensive pass interference on that play. They're not going to get it, however, and that's going to bring up a third down and 5. It's been one of the most productive plays of this entire campaign, the old halfback pass there from the Sharks. Element of surprise being their best friend in this campaign.
Yeah, well, it's something you don't see often, but when it's executed correctly, it can be a really explosive option for an offensive unit. And it was definitely very close there. Good coverage on the play. He was able to keep his eyes on the ball, the defensive back for the Wolfpack, and force the incompletion there with some good pressure on the receiver.
Same formation. Trips to the right-hand side. Nolte in the backfield this time. Whitehead sits back immediately under pressure, and the Wolfpack close down. And it seems that the players continue to go here. Wolfpack very keen to dive on the ball. It'll be ruled incomplete. But it's that defensive line just came just like a wall of blue just coming straight at Whitehead. Tried to get over the top. And you definitely can't underestimate the power of a defensive lineman. All 100-odd kilos of them coming at you with their arms raised in the air.
No, it's a tactic that a lot of defensive linemen use. If they feel like they can't get to the quarterback to bring him down, they throw their arms up in the air and hope for the best. And on that occasion, I think it was Fadi Aoun who was able to bat the ball down, and it was called an incomplete pass. Whitehead threw the ball forward. So if it's a forward pass and it gets batted down by a defensive player, the clock will stop, and it will be deemed as an incomplete pass.
Carlone Jones now back to punt. Obviously risky territory to go for it on fourth down, considering they are essentially on the edge of the red zone. Oh, they've looked for the fake, and he cuts back to the inside, and Tamani Seve is on his way. And he's still going, and SA have used a fake punt before in their last game, and they do it again, and it keeps the drive alive. That must be really debilitating for a defense to know you are so close to getting off the field, and then they hit you with that.
Oh, they had to be expecting that, though, the Wolfpack, considering the scoreline. I know they were backed up in their own end zone, well, towards the end zone there. But look, it was an interesting play. It was actually a direct snap to the fullback, or it was lined up off to the side. And you thought that he was going to take the ball through the middle, but he actually gave it to another player sweeping around the front. So an interesting selection there from the Sharks, and it keeps this drive alive.
The Sharks, being the new boys on the block here in the AGL campaign, have come out with all the party tricks so far. Otten's in motion, hands off, and he's going to take it. Gets around to the outside, breaks the contain, and he's going to get some decent yards. And here come the Sharks, starting to build a solid drive so far, even if it did take a fake punt to get past the first down marker. That's going to be 2 first downs in a row for them. And even though the score is 43-0 at the moment, it shows the Sharks are definitely out there to put points on the board. And they've shown moments, especially in their game against the Raiders, where they definitely can be a side to be reckoned with. But like you said earlier, this is going to be a team that you look at them in a few years' time and then see where they're really going to be at here. Empty set, 5 wide receivers, moving Otten's in motion, the flick to the outside. Gets to the outside again, great tackle in the open field though. And a terrific play. I mean, the last play that Otten's got to the outside was able to break the contain and get the extra yards for the first down. That time, not so much. Once again, it's open field tackling.
Yeah, open field tackling again, obviously, by the Wolfpack. Great tackle there by the linebacker. Whitehead has displayed a bit of ability running the ball when he chooses to. But, yeah, again, very good job there by the Wolfpack defense to bring him down at their first attempt.
If you can close them down in the open field, you can almost close them down anywhere. Trips to the left-hand side here in a bunch, and they're moving. Nelligan to the outside, and the umpires are going to jump in on the plate. Flags down. We're going to wait to see what the call is here. A penalty would really hurt the Sharks here, considering the drive that they're starting to build here. Looks like that will be on the Sharks.
Encroachment. Number 86 was lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Second down and 15 now faces the Sharks here, and that closes a lot of your playbook. But with the sort of spontaneous sort of playbook calls that we've seen so far from the Sharks, nothing's going to be out of the ordinary, especially as they looked to press and break their deadlock. The Wolfpack, though, you really have to credit their defense today.
Yeah, they've been outstanding. Obviously, you look at the Sharks score sheet. It is 43 points to nil. So, you know, they haven't allowed any touchdowns. But they've given up some yards, but they haven't allowed any touchdowns. They've been very good defensively down their own end. As we see Whitehead go straight through the middle there, picks up a couple of yards. Had a Wolfpack player come in late there, but the referees have deemed it to be clean. So a nice pick up there from Whitehead, and the Sharks will keep this drive going. They're not showing any signs of slowing down or any lack of effort in the later stages of this contest in the third quarter at the moment. They're definitely looking to post their first touchdown, or at least their first points on this drive here.
Yeah, all the effort, unfortunately, has been lost on turnovers, as well as little penalties like that, because that 4-yard gain has put them at 3rd and 11, which is still a yard worse than what they were at 2nd and 10, obviously. Trips to the left-hand side. Whitehead takes the high snap, gets hit from the corner. Oh, and well done there. A big hit on the quarterback, and it was almost intercepted by the defensive lineman. A good heads-up play there from Ian Nolte to stick a hand up and put it to ground, playing the work of a defensive lineman there. But that's a terrific hit, and it just shows as this game is going on, the offensive line from the Sharks is beginning to give way.
Yeah, Fadier would have been licking his chops there. He saw the ball going up in the air. He possibly thought he could have come down with an intercept. Probably would have been one of the first in his career, but it was a good job from the offensive player from the Sharks, turning attack into defense and sort of eliminating the ball from the play and stopping it from going into the defender's hands. But looks like the Sharks are going to go for it here on 4th and 11, and why wouldn't they? They're down 43 points to 0. They have showed a bit of promise through the air, so we'll see what they're able to produce here as Whitehead takes the ball. He's going to look over to his right and dump it off to his receiver, number 24, Ryan Ottens. He's been heavily involved. I'm not sure if he was able to pick up the required yardage there. In fact, I think it will be turnover on downs as you see the Wolfpack offense begin to come onto the field. So it was a good play there from the Sharks, but not what they needed. And now the Wolfpack, who've looked outstanding in attack, are going to come back out onto the field and see if they can add to this hefty lead.
5-0.
It says a lot for your team when you can put your backup quarterback in and barely miss a beat. David Ward has been terrific in this 3rd quarter. Kieran Dorney getting a well-deserved rest. Umpires stepping in, and looks like that is going to be a timeout for the Sharks. When we come back, Wolfpack are going to start their drive.
South Australia. First timeout. 50 seconds to go.
Here we go after the break. Wolfpack are going to come back out onto the field. As I said before, they're going to look to post some more points after already putting 43 on the board. David Ward is coming in for Kieran Dorney in the quarterback position, number 14 there, the Western Sydney Pirates representative, and he has played very well. And he's going to throw the ball again. It's a quick check down to Mark Leggy, number 6, and he gets some blocking, puts on a hurdle, and he falls forward for a first down. So that's the yak factor there, the yards after the catch. He's able to do a good job there, the number 6 veteran from the Newcastle Cobras. There is a flag down on the field, though, so we'll tune in a moment.
Holding, number 51, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay the first down.
So it's going to be holding on the Wolfpack, which is going to bring that one back. Costly penalty there, and you really, despite the fact that they're up by 43 points, the coaching staff of the Wolfpack still, they wouldn't like to see something like that.
Yeah, you can never get complacent, especially in Australian Gridiron League matches. And like you said, yeah, the score is very lopsided at the moment, but in terms of their progression, I mean, now you could say it's almost a lock that they'll be heading to the final, so they'll be looking to get rid of these things to make sure that they're at their best against Queensland.
We see here, Kent Nugent has gone in motion from the left side to the right side. Very involved since Dave Ward has come into the quarterback position, and he will hand it off to the running back who did bobble it at the handoff, but he was able to land back on the ball, so lucky break there for the Wolfpack. That's the kind of thing you don't like. It's the kind of thing you don't like to see from your offense, despite being up by 43 points. As Chris said, you do want to fine-tune everything before going into a big contest. They are likely headed to the final next week, and you don't want to see any late mistakes. So it's going to be second and very long after the fumble. But it is quarter time, so we're going to be entering in the fourth quarter very soon. The New South Wales Wolfpack up over the South Australian Sharks 43 points to 0.
And while we have the stoppage in play, we'd like to thank the Hurstville City Council for putting this together, and a beautiful here at Hurstville Oval. We'd also like to thank Hostworks for assisting us with the live stream, and we hope that you're enjoying this game as much as we are here on Ascension Sports. And with 1 quarter to play, like Jake mentioned, 43-0 at the moment, and the Wolfpack flexing their muscles.
So here we go. Play is about to resume now. David Ward has 5 receivers out. No signs of slowing down despite the margin. And Ward, he's got someone coming from his blind side. Jeez. The defensive lineman there, number 66, Damien Voller. He was happy after that one. Always a good feeling for a defensive lineman to get a sack, especially when it comes with impact like that one. David Ward didn't see him coming. And that's going to be quite a big loss, and now it's going to be third and very long. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of play they go with here. They are up by 43, but what we've seen from the Cobras, I'll be surprised if they do anything other than air it out. He takes the snap now, and he's going to fake the handoff, and he will throw it over the middle to Mark Legge, who was looking to secure the ball, but he turned his head upfield before he'd secured the football, and you can't do that in this league. And it was an incomplete pass, so it's going to be 4th down now for the Wolfpack. They'll probably punt this one away.
4th down and extremely long here. He spent that one before he earned it. And now they will be forced to punt here, and this is where SA can get it back around midfield to try to build a drive towards scoring here in the 4th. Using the shield formation here for the punt. Punt's a little bit low, under a lot of pressure. It's a bit of a wobbler. Taken well there on the run, but shut down immediately from the Wolfpack. And now the Sharks will get back onto the field here in the 4th of this Australian Gridiron League match between the SA Sharks and the New South Wales Wolfpack.
Down and 10 now for South Australia. Just around midfield.
New drive now for the Sharks. Bunch here on the right-hand side for Whitehead. He's going to fake the handoff, goes around the back to Tedmanson. Halfback pass throws straight down the middle and straight through the hands of the lineman. The halfback pass not really working with the same sort of efficiency it did in their first game against the Raiders. And almost another turnover there for the Sharks. They're struggling at the moment to get any offense going through their halfback pass for starters. But in terms of having much versatility outside of Ottens, they're really struggling to have other options.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're trying these trick plays so frequently. I think they were very close to getting some success through the air in the first half, just with your regular passing plays. Maybe they've lost a little bit of confidence in the quarterback after 4 interceptions in the first half, but I'd like to see Whitehead chance his arm a little bit with a deep ball, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Not a deep ball. He will throw the hitch pass, and it's going to be caught by Mitch Garvos, I believe. Oh, no, it's number 86. That's going to be Michael Tedmanson on the hitch route. So nice little pickup. They'll take it, and they'll continue this drive.
Yeah, see, the problem with Whitehead is he continues to be mobile and likes to move out the pocket, but when he does stand in the pocket and gets the time to throw, he is very effective. He's been going off to numerous camps in America to continue to hone his skill and looks to see one of Australia's finest young assets, but at the moment, still plying his trade here on the stage against one of the best defences in the country. 4 lined up for the Wolfpack on the line. Whitehead drops back, gets the flick pass over the top to Levi Johnston. And he gets in for the first down, and that'll put them on the edge of the red zone. And once again, it's when he has that time and when they're able to open up that defense is when Whitehead is most effective. It seems to be, though, that there is a player down, and it will be Johnston after taking the catch. This one's been a bruising affair so far. A few of the SA players going down. And he's being helped up, and he's going to be able to walk off on his own volition, which is always good news. And that's the last thing SA needs, that's for sure. An injury to add to what has really been the insult of this match so far. They haven't really been outplayed in terms of effort, but they've just been outclassed in terms of what Wolfpack has put on the field today in terms of converting their chances. And their defensive pressure has really held the Sharks out of this contest. But with 20 yards left here, the Sharks are in one of their best positions yet to open their account for the game. Empty backfield, 5 wide receiver set. Otten's in motion. The handoff, he fakes it. Whitehead comes down the middle and is hit hard. Big time hit there. John Tamani Valu making a big hit in the open field. And it seems as if every single time that the Wolfpack have had the chance to make the hit they have. You haven't really seen many missed tackles from the Wolfpack today, have you?
I don't think there's been any missed tackles, maybe one or two here and there, but all in all, yeah, their tackling has been outstanding, as we've mentioned so many times, because it deserves to be mentioned just because of how consistent their tackling has been. So it's about 2nd and 6 now for the Sharks, and we'll see what they can produce here.
Spread set. Whitehead has a bit of time. The quick pass to Tedmondson. Going to try to fight his way over for the first down. It'll be touch and go to see whether he got the yards needed to make sure that they get a fresh set of downs and to go into a goal line set. Tedmondson's been productive as well today for the Sharks. Ironically, also an outback player. SA boasting a few outback players that just don't have the overall polish that the Wolfpack do at the moment.
Yeah, look, they've certainly got talent in areas, but it's just about getting that all to click with the other players that you've got on the field. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to gel as well as they would like, but still, they're showing some good signs late here as they're going to look to post some points here on 3rd and short. Whitehead, he gets the ball, and he's going to dump it out to number 24, Ryan Ottens. And this is what I like to see from Whitehead. He's looked really good when he's just dropped back. He's got fair protection from the offensive line, and he's scanned the field and made intelligent decisions. He's got receivers getting open, shallow to intermediate. So he's definitely done some nice things when he hasn't decided to throw the deep ball. Obviously, the Wolfpack defensive backs have been right on the deep passes, but in terms of the short and intermediate throws, Whitehead's definitely finding some success, and I'm sure he'll look to continue that as this drive comes to a close. Hopefully for the Sharks, they can score some points.
1st and goal now on the 5. Otten's in motion. Whitehead, quick time, low pass, and it's going to be past everyone. Wolfpack closing a very small window there, and that'll bring up 2nd down and goal. It seems as if, on your point earlier, as if the Wolfpack defensive line might be getting a little tired. They made some plays in the 3rd quarter, might just be taking their foot off the gas just a little bit, and when you can give quarterbacks time in the pocket, it's never good news for the secondary at least. But the Wolfpack is doing a very, very good job at containing Whitehead downfield, as mentioned earlier. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers here for the goal line set. Bringing the house, Whitehead tosses it into the corner, and both of the players on the outside slip and fall. Panazzolo, the target on the outside. And both of the players on skates, and that one will fall short. 3rd down and goal now on the 5 for the Sharks here. Big possession for them in terms of morale and in terms of just kind of getting some, respect out of this scoreline, essentially. They've played really hard, just haven't been able to put much on the board for their effort. Credit that to the Wolfpack defense as well for causing a lot of turnovers, especially in the first half. Once again, empty backfield. Hands it off. Ottens breaks a tackle. Does he have the speed to get to the outside? He does. There is a flag on the play, however. But it looks as if Ottens might be in for the score. Like we said before, Ottens, a complete and versatile player in terms of the speed, size and physicality that he possesses. And we were just saying before that in terms of the missed tackles, we haven't really seen many from the Wolfpack, but in terms of that play there, managing to break one and then get to the corner. Have to wait to see what the call is, however.
Do you have a number? Holding. Number 86, offense. 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, replay third down.
And the touchdown play is going to be negated by a holding on wide receiver Michael Tedmanson. And it is shattering for a Sharks team that almost got in there, but just have to go back and try to do it again.
Yeah, it was unlucky there. Great work there on the wide run by Ryan Ottens. Unfortunately, when there's a change of direction in the running game, sometimes the outside blockers tend to get their feet caught up and reach with the blocking a little bit, and that's what the wide receiver there, number 86, apparently did on the play. So they will line up now for 3rd and goal, looking to post some points here. And Whitehead, he gets the ball, and he's going to take a shot immediately for the man who committed the foul, and he catches the ball, and it's going to be a touchdown. Excellent work by Michael Tedmanson. He possibly played through a little bit of pass interference on that one as well, and he was still able to reel the ball in against a much smaller defensive back. So that's excellent work there by Whitehead, who's really strung a couple of nice completions together and caps off the drive with a good play, a good throw to Tedmanson on the fade route, who definitely made up for the holding penalty he committed earlier in the drive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's reward for effort finally for the Sharks. Still a long way to go, however. 43-6 the score. At least there's one on the board for Whitehead to get that under his belt. Good work from Tedmanson as well to cut back on the inside. The pass slightly underthrown, but did well to turn his defensive back. Empty set again. Whitehead fakes it on the inside, and he is hit solidly. And that is a big-time hit to stop the two-point conversion, and the score will remain at 43-6 here in the fourth quarter. The New South Wales Wolfpack on their way to their second straight win and a seemingly booked berth in the Australian Gridiron League final against the Queensland Sun Devils. That should be an absolute cracker, but the Sharks still giving it their all in this stage. Thank you very much for joining us here on Ascension Sports. My name's Chris Guscott alongside Jake Humphreys. On behalf of all the Ascension Sports teams, thank you very much for watching the live stream so far. Still plenty of gridiron left to play in this one, so make sure you stay tuned. And then also, after this game, make sure that you stay tuned for the Women's Australian Gridiron League match between the New South Wales Coyotes and the Queensland Sun Devils women's team. That should be a cracker, and the winner of that is going to book their spot in the final. Also like to thank the Hurstville City Council and Hostworks for helping us with the stream. The kick is long, goes out the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. When we come back, New South Wales will start their new drive.
Offside by the kicking team. South Australia offside at the kickoff, so that will come back.
It looks as though South Australia committed a bit of an infringement on the kickoff. A couple of the chases were in front of the kicker, which is a big no-no in terms of special teams play. And it looks like they're going to have to re-kick the ball here, which is going to give
penalty,
the special teams from the Wolfpack an opportunity to possibly make some more yards than what they had made with the touchback before. So they will be backed up a little bit further than what they were before. And Ryan Otten's the kicker. He's going to have to make sure that he gets a big chunk of this in order to put his chasers in a reasonable position here. He does get a good chunk of it, and it's going to go all the way down and bounce into the end zone. And it appears as though it bounced before the end zone and bounced up into Keenan Mackett's hands, but the referee has made the decision that it's going to be a touchback. So it's a similar result, or the exact same result to what we saw before. So the Wolfpack will start on their own 20. and they'll look to see what kind of a drive they can come up with here in the later stage of this game. So they've actually got Mark Shoebridge out in quarterback now, number 7 from the Northwestern Predators. He played a little bit of wide receiver earlier in the game, and he's going to keep it down the middle. He faked the handoff to Alex Watson. He picks up a couple of yards. So clearly the New South Wales Wolfpack team do have a lot of depth, the quarterback position in particular. They've gone through 3 different plays now. We saw Keenan Dorney start the game. He had a nice input, getting them out to a lead. David Ward came on, and he really threw the ball well to Kent Nugent in particular. And now at the end of the game, we're seeing Mark Shoebridge close out this one for the Wolfpack. Man in motion from right to left. Shoebridge has the ball, and he looks to his open man, number 16, who's quickly seized by the enthusiastic South Australian defence, who are definitely not taking their foot off the pedal despite the one-sided scoreline, which is good to see. Makes for an exciting finish to the game. So it's going to be 3rd down now for the New South Wales Wolfpack.
Previously junior representatives for Australia. So it's good to see these young fellas come through and start contributing.
So here they go. Looks like 3rd and medium. About 3rd and 4, we'll call it. Mark Shoebridge has 3 receivers to his left. He's just flipped Alex Watson from the right to the left. He has the football now in the backfield, and a similar play to what we saw on 1st down, except he's fumbled the ball. Ball security has been an issue for the Wolfpack, and it's recovered by the Sharks. Great work by the Sharks defense to force contact, bump the football out, and then show the urgency to dive on the ball and create a turnover. They've certainly created plenty today. I think that was the 3rd turnover forced by the Sharks, and they're going to go on the attack and look to score another touchdown. So this is good stuff from the Sharks.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the one thing you can fault about the Wolfpack performance so far, is their ball security at times has been poor, but really that's nitpicking at the moment considering they hold a 37-point lead here in the 4th. But the Sharks will be back on offense, and the last time they were on the field, they scored a touchdown, so Sharks starting to build some momentum, albeit a little too late, but it's momentum nonetheless. Split set again. Tedmanson coming in to fill the quarterback duties. Flags down. Long pass. It's a good spiral ball, but dropped by the defensive back. Thomas Granger had all the time in the world in the position to take that one and intercept it. Went through his fingers. Not sure if it will matter, though. There's a penalty on the play. We'll wait to see what that call is.
Offside, 91 defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the 1st down.
It'll be a flag on the Wolfpack, so that's going to give the 1st down to the SA Sharks, regardless of what just happened on that last play. And when it's a free play, you might as well go downfield and make sure you can try to at least go for the big play and get the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whatever comes off, if it's a touchdown, obviously the touchdown stands, but if you throw an interception or turn the football over, it's going to be coming back for the infringement made by the defensive team, so that's why they call it a free play. It really doesn't matter if you make a mistake, so you put it up there, and that's just what he did, threw it up in the air and nearly had a big play.
Wolfpack defense continuing to be strong against the deep pass, however. 5 wide receivers. Tedmanson running himself and runs straight into a brick wall. The Wolfpack defensive line still being incredibly forceful and pushing through that offensive line there. And Tedmanson coming in, finding out how hard Whiteman's job really has been today. Sorry, Whitehead. And now that is going to set up a 2nd down and medium situation. Just a reminder to continue to tune in after this game, because we'll be going straight to the New South Wales Coyotes versus the Queensland Sun Devils women's team in the women's AGL match. Moving quickly here out of the huddle. That's a poor snap. It's gone over his head. Taylor Barrington in at quarterback. Escapes his man. Throws downfield. Intercepted. And that's a big play to make. The play was going wrong. There is a flag down on the play, however, so this could change things up. But when the snap is poor and it forces a quarterback who's usually not a quarterback to go around and do a lot of running, it gives the Wolfpack really a free run at an interception or a turnover.
Yeah, when you've got someone in quarterback who isn't used to playing the position, you'd like to give him a fair snap, and that one just went straight over his head. Put him under a little bit of pressure, and he threw an interception.
Penalty declined. The turnover stands. First down.
So the penalty was declined, and the Wolfpack will come out onto the field. That was the Sharks' 5th interception, and all of them coming off deep throws. The Sharks did have quite a bit of success throughout the game, throwing short to intermediate, and they seem to have abandoned that slightly in a ploy to get some more points on the board. So here comes David Ward now. He's out onto the field. He's been outstanding. They've obviously given Mark Shoebridge the hook after the ball security issue, and now David Ward is on the field. He's going to take the snap and look out to his left, and Tuong brings it in, one-handed grab. What an effort by Tuong. He's able to reach out and grab the ball. Good stuff by him. Looks to be a gain of 4 to 5 yards. So nice play on first down for the Sharks. For the Wolfpack, sorry. And they haven't steered away from the pass at all. Looking to get some reps in before their big game next week, which they seem to be destined to head to now. He's going to have a shot for Mark Leggy. It bounced off his hands. He had a fair attempt at catching that one. It's his second drop ball. The veteran won't be happy with himself after that one. So it's an incompletion. That's going to be 3rd and about 6 yards now for the Wolfpack. Mark Leggy, certainly a big target. A bit similar to Grant McNaughton in terms of stature. And Ward definitely put all his faith in him there, but he wasn't able to reel the ball in. Went through his hands. Ward has twins either side. He's going to fake the ball to the tailback, and he's going to take a shot over the middle at Mark Shoebridge. And it looks to be out of the hands of him as well. So 2 drop balls back to back for the Sharks, for the Wolfpack's wide receiving corps. And it's going to be 4th down and 6 now.
Seems as if the Wolfpack at the moment are their own worst enemy in terms of their efficiency. They really haven't run into that many problems all day, despite the Sharks putting in 100% effort. It's shown the Wolfpack really do belong as one of the best teams in the country. And setting up, they're still going for it on 4th down. It's a strange move.
Yeah, we expected the punt team to be coming out, but they're going to be going for it. 4th and 6, looking to get a completion after 2 incompletions. And now there is a flag on the field. Not too sure what this is for.
Delay of game. Number 14, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still the 4th down.
So it's a delay of game. It'll push them back 5 yards, and perhaps this might bring a punt out of the Wolfpack offense. But given the way they've run the offense today, you'd think they'd just come out and try and get the first down to get some extra reps in before their big contest coming up. So it's set to be about 4th and 11 for the Wolfpack. The SA Sharks defense, they're going to be looking to make a stand and get the football back. And try to post some more points to make this scoreboard a little bit more respectable. They certainly have been fierce in terms of competing today, but just a little outclassed by the Wolfpack so far in this one. So it's going to be twins either side, a familiar formation. They like to go to this, no matter who they have playing back there in the quarterback spot. Dave Ward takes the snap, and again he's going to look to pass, and he takes a deep shot for Shoebridge. Goodness me, he's brought it in. The quarterback turned wide receiver. He just beats the coverage, and we've seen time and time again today the South Australian Sharks DBs have really struggled when they've been faced with a man-to-man situation.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just getting burnt deep. And it's that protection in the pocket as well. You just noticed Ward had all the time in the world to survey his situation, and that offensive line has been terrific all day. They've let in just 1 sack, I believe, so they're doing a terrific job at keeping the Sharks at bay.
Now Tuong moves from right to left, and he's going to give the ball to the tailback, the Wollongong halfback, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield, it looks like. Good job by the South Australian Sharks defensive line there to get a little bit of penetration and bring him down. Brad Mountford, I believe, who has seen a fair bit of the football field in the back end of this game, coming in for Mason Safkuni and Alex Watson. So he's out there again. We've got twins either side. David Ward drops back, and it goes through the hands of Tuong, was almost gathered by Shoebridge on the deflection. He wasn't able to bring it in. That's going to bring up third down. Looks like about third down and 12 after the loss of yards on first down. Certainly not taking their foot off the pedal, the Wolfpack. Trying to post as many points as possible here. We've got Mark Leggy and Max Nina on the right, the Cobras duo. We'll see if he targets them. And he has a look to, oh, well, Mark Shoebridge. Bit of a slant route there, post route, and he was able to beat the defensive back. Not sure which one it was on the occasion, but they've definitely shown some liabilities in coverage so far today, and David Ward was able to exploit that. Definitely turned in a fair stat sheet, Dave Ward. I think that might be his third touchdown pass, taking a bit of the workload off Keenan Dorney, the Aussie rep. And he's looked very nice filling in for him today. And he throws it to the man who was just in quarterback a couple of drives ago. So definitely lots of talent and lots of versatility in the Wolfpack offense.
Scary to think that a lot of these Wolfpack players can play a lot of different positions. Once again, another successful point after attempt for the Wolfpack, and that'll bring up the half century against the Sharks here. It's 50-6 here, late here in the fourth quarter on Ascension Sports. Chris Guscott here, Jake Humphreys alongside me here. Thank you very much for joining us on the live stream today, and just do not forget that we've got another game coming after this, the doubleheader for the AGL. The New South Wales Coyotes taking on the Queensland Sun Devils. That should be a ripper matchup, so stick around for that. I'd like to thank Hurstville City Council and also for Hostworks for helping us out with the stream. And as you just heard announced over the PA, not much time left in this one. And the Wolfpack, a real exclamation point on the win here. Following the kickoff, it's going to be a little shallow. Barrington takes it. Hit hard at the legs and is brought down. And when we come back, first down and 10 for the Sharks. First down and 10 now for the Sharks. Trips to the right-hand side. Tedmondson once again back in her quarterback. And he's going to take it himself. Tosses it out to Ottens, who's been productive today. Been one of the main focal points of the South Australian offense. There's going to be a flag thrown. I'll wait to see what the call is there. Ryan Ottens has been involved in a lot of offensive plays in the second half especially. Calling on one of their best to get some offense for this team.
Holding, number 23, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay the first down.
And more penalties hurting the Sharks in this one. So now it's going to be first down and 20. Oh, from the spot of the foul, sorry. Certainly didn't look like first and 20 from my view, but you know, got to go with your instincts sometimes. 5 receivers set, empty backfield. Tedmondson calls the man in motion. Ottens gets in the way of the snap. And it looks as if they're going to lose a lot of yards on that one, and looks as if the end siren cannot come quick enough for the Sharks at this stage. Wolfpack have been truly impressive in this one.
Yeah, they have been, but you've just seen the Sharks, you know, throw caution to the wind in the last couple of plays, and why wouldn't they? I mean, they're faced with a pretty big deficit, and they're going to chance their arm and see what they can produce. And Ryan Ottens, he'll be pretty upset with his teammates. That's the second time he's had a play brought back due to holding. First, you saw the touchdown brought back that he scored in the corner down on the right side of your screen, and then just then he had a play brought back. Fairly good game was brought back by one of his wide receivers, I think, on the holding call, so he'll be pretty upset with that, but the Sharks looking to make some yards here.
Tedmondson takes the high snap. Doesn't look to pass, looks to try to get out of the way, and he's brought down. Fumbles, tackles, and that will be a safety to ice the cake for the Wolfpack. Tedmondson didn't even look to pass that one, just looked to run straight out of the shotgun set, and the Wolfpack are all over it, and they're just beginning to really put an emphatic stamp on this match. It's now 52-6 here at Hurstville Oval in Sydney. It's been a beautiful day for gridiron, really. The clouds have been out and they've made sure it's not too hot. There's been no wind, which hasn't affected the quarterbacks like we've seen in recent weeks, especially in Perth and in Canberra. The wind really picked up and helped and really pushed the quarterbacks away in terms of their deep passing. Today, there's no excuses. And quarterbacks like Dorney, like Ward, even Shoebridge on a drive or two have really taken advantage of that.
Yeah, the passing attack from both sides has looked great. At times, the Sharks, they've turned the ball over with a couple of deep throws, but the Wolfpack have certainly capitalised on the conditions today. Ward, in particular, I've been very impressed with. He hasn't missed a beat out there. He's been playing football for a long time, and it's certainly showing. He's had a couple of nice connections deep, a couple of Nugent, and one to Shoebridge just recently, so he's looking quite good. And we'll see the restart come via punt from Carlisle Jones. And he gets the side of this one and sort of shanks it across. And it looks like it's going to remain in bounds for Shoebridge. And he tiptoes down the sideline and cops a big hit perhaps after he went out of bounds. No flag from the officials. I thought it was okay. Playing to the whistles. And it's going to be 1st and 10 coming up for the Wolfpack, with the time well and truly winding down.
It's made for truly entertaining viewing watching the Wolfpack today. And in 2 weeks' time, on May 10th, it should be an unbelievable final between the Wolfpack and the Sun Devils up in Queensland. And if that took, they might go straight into QB Neal. Nice out the clock, but it looks as if the Wolfpack really don't want to take their foot off the pedal in this one. Fighting for every single point. Hand up off the middle. And he is brought down well. Tamani Seve and Nick Lawrence on the tackle. And it'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Brad Mountford on the carry there. Couple of yards. Not a bad result, given the situation that they're in. 2-minute warning is upon us right now. It's going to be a short break.
Time out. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
So in case you're just joining us, 52 points to 6. The New South Wales Wolfpack have the lead over the South Australian Sharks. It's been a very exciting game. Plenty of offense we've seen in this game from the Wolfpack in particular. And they're looking to produce a little bit more offense inside the last 2 minutes of this game. Dave Ward has certainly worked out the arm today. He's going to hand it off to Brad Mountford. Second play so far on this drive that look quite similar to each other. Just a quick handoff out of the shotgun formation down the middle. And a similar outcome to the last play. He gains a couple of yards, so he's going to put them in a 3rd and 8 position. Dave Ward and company just looking to the sideline for the signal. And he's going to go to work here with 3 wide receivers on his right. Looks like Greg Evers, Mark Leggy and Max Nander on the right-hand side. But he's going to pitch it out to Brad Mountford, who puts on a nice move, ducking back to the inside, and looks like he's picked up the 1st down to increase this drive. And the Wolfpack may finish out this game with the football. We'll just see if they got the 1st down, and yes, they did. They will be moving the chains, so Brad Mountford's 3rd consecutive carry. That one was off a pitch. Nice pitch accuracy there by Dave Ward. 1st down Wolfpack. They've got Greg Evers in the backfield there to the right of Dave Ward. And he's going to lead block for Mountford, who gets another couple of handy yards. just trying to perhaps run out the clock a little bit here as this game wraps up.
45 seconds.
I think both sides will be happy to take off the helmets, get into the dressing sheds, and recap the games that they both had. It's been a pretty fast-flowing game, really. Lots of deep routes from either receivers, and lots of action. So I'm sure both sides are quite tight, and it looks like they could be now. I thought they were in the victory formation. Yeah, they are. Dave Ward takes the kneel. And it looks like this game's going to be over in a matter of moments. As you can see, the players are beginning to shake hands.
And that will do us at Hurstville Oval in Sydney. The 5th Australian Gridiron League match. And it's all the New South Wales Wolfpack. 52-6 is your final for this one. Special thanks to the Hurstville City Council. Hostworks for helping us out with the stream. Jake Humphries has helped me alongside today. Did a fantastic job. Thank you very much for helping me out today. I'm Chris Guscott. Stay around here on Ascension Sports TV. Do not go anywhere because the Women's Australian Gridiron League match is coming up next between the New South Wales Coyotes and the Queensland Sun Devils. That one is to see who is going to be playing in the final. So thank you very much for joining us on behalf of Ascension Sports TV. For everyone involved, hang around for the next game. And if you can't, thank you very much for joining us.